I thought just a nice, peaceful, relaxing scene for the prediction video would be appropriate. These are just going to be my personal impressions of what I'm seeing going on in politics and how I think they might play into activities into the new year. The first thing I'm going to cover is Donald Trump and how he is going to behave. Unlike a normal politician who has his finger in the wind constantly, Donald Trump is not going to have any particular desire for unity. He's not a Republican. He has an R by his name, yes. He ran on the party ticket, yes. But he does not have any particular loyalty to that party. You never hear him talk about conservatism. You never hear him talk about Republican values. And he really doesn't care to be part of a team. He's never been part of a team. He's always been a CEO. So this thing that we normally see after a president takes office, of reaching out to the other side and attempting to heal and bring people together, not going to happen. He's not even going to reach out to his own party. He's just going to do what he's going to do, and they're going to either fall in line or he's going to pull out the Twitter account. This desire for the well-being of the American people or the well-being of the people that elected him, he doesn't care. He couldn't care less. He has created the false argument that no matter what, he's better than Hillary Clinton. So you can have somebody like Alex Jones on your side and have him make the accusations against the opposition that he did with the audience he has, and then you have somebody like Sean Hannity spend a year and a half on Fox News, a character assassination against your opponent for free. It's not something where he really cares to ever run for president again. He is just going to be who he is. And you're either going to vote for him because you're a loyalist and a worshiper, or you're not. Perceptions are everything with Donald Trump. No matter what happens, who he appoints to where, he is going to have to be seen as the center of attention for all decisions. That's why he has not chosen any of his major competitors for positions in the administration, because of the ability they would have to be recognized independently of him in the media. He needs all of these names that people have never heard of that are going to be easily dismissed and just used as window dressing and backdrop for the Trump agenda. This man does not fear being wrong. He fears being irrelevant. That's his big fear. And he will come out and say things that are patently false and wrong and inflammatory just to maintain himself in the limelight. That's the most important thing. So, some specific predictions. Number one, I believe the Asian markets are going to take a dive with this issue with the TPP and his desire to withdraw from it and negotiate independent deals with each nation. There are a lot of people over there that have predicated decisions they've made on this TPP deal, and it's going to cause a problem. And the renminbi and the yuan are going to lose their value, and by contrast, it will actually make the dollar go up, which Donald Trump will take credit for almost immediately. Terrorism will subside. And I know that seems like kind of a strange thing to say, but the folks that organize this stuff are not unintelligent people. And with this man and his rhetoric on the subject, they are not going to give him any more ammunition to do anything else to impede their operations. So don't look for any giant attacks in America. Don't look for any giant attacks in Europe. They're going to want to keep that particular subject out of the man's radar, off his screen, and not give him the ability to act against it. Israel. Israel's going to be offered a deal. I had alleged this in another video. I still think it's true that he is going to want to negotiate this deal. It would be the deal of a lifetime, the deal of the century, to make peace between these two people, and he is going to use some type of a financial incentive to do it. I know Bibi Netanyahu thinks Donald Trump is his best buddy, but he's completely mistaken. You know, and the more I think about it, I think Bibi Netanyahu is playing nice for the cameras, but I don't think he's dumb enough to really believe that Donald Trump is an ally. I think he's just waiting to see what the man has in store and what his plans are. I do believe whatever deal that Trump does offer, though, he will renege on, and it will put the Israelis in a position to either start a war or start a riot, um, and they will be in a very untenable situation in a couple years. This is kind of an offbeat one, but the situation in Syria, Turkey will move against Assad. The Russians aren't going to be involved in it. The U.S. isn't going to be involved in it. Turkey is a NATO proxy, and the leader of Erdogan, um, or Erdogan, I think his name is actually, is going to take the lead on this, and he is going to put that situation to bed. He will be the one that takes ISIS out and makes them a page in history. And the Turks do have this ability. They're an incredibly powerful nation, very underestimated, and they will have the ability to do this. The people in ISIS have done some things that have ticked off the Muslims to no end, and Turkey is a very strong Muslim nation. Here at home, the situation with the illegals. I believe Donald Trump is going to kind of pivot away from the wall issue. I still think he's going to probably have some kind of a photo op down there with, some bricklayers and something being dug or built in the background, and he's going to use that as a platform to release his work amnesty program, where he's going to try to allow these people to stay only on the condition that they remain crime-free and a full-time job building things. And one of the things I think that are going to be built are going to be private prisons. Now, this comes from more of a personal side, but down here in Florida, the number one moneymaker, obviously, for the state is tourism. But the second biggest moneymaker down here is prisons and detaining people privately. There is a lot of money to be made in that arena through commissary issues and taking care of the people and all the contractors involved in the building. It's a very big deal, and Donald Trump is hip deep in the real estate market in Florida, and I think it's going to be something that he's going to expound upon, and it's going to be part of his thing with Sheriff Clarke, and the big attack on crime. And in fact, that's what actually put him on the map back during the primary, was that the woman in San Francisco that had been killed by the criminal illegal alien, and that's what really set his campaign off into the stratosphere when he had just made a comment about criminal illegal aliens, and then the woman was killed. So the thing with the sanctuary city is the same thing with pulling that funding away and directing it into other areas. It's going to be something where he's going to be seen as a hero, of crime fighting. The Dow Jones, I think it's going to sink on the news of Asia and the lack of the TPP being enforced. But it's going to rebound, and based on some of the statements that Donald Trump's going to make, it's going to careen past the 20,000 mark, probably in spring. Maybe earlier, maybe as early as late February. And I'm sure Donald Trump is going to have a press conference all set up for that. It's the narrative is going to be that now that the Trump administration has taken hold and is cleaning up the government and fixing America and making it great again, that everybody's going to be having great jobs, and criminal illegals are being jailed and deported and all this other stuff. And we just needed to give him a chance because he's really a great guy. That's going to be the narrative. Because remember, folks, it's all about impressions. It's all about perceptions. And that's what he's going to maintain, especially in the eyes of his low information worshipers. They're just going to stay glued to Fox News and glued to InfoWars, and whatever Sean Hannity or Rush Limbaugh or Alex Jones says, that's going to be what the Bible says. So, I have a video coming up, I'm not going to address it right now, about the reality of what happened in Benghazi. And it's not been reported. And I'm going to reveal some things that only an intelligence analyst would be able to see and to know. And it's going to make a lot of sense to those of you who do have an open mind about what really was going on and Miss Clinton, and why there was this huge concerted attack against this woman over the last 5 to 10 years. So I hope everyone has a wonderful new year. Be safe out there tonight, folks. Uber is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. It's cheap, and it's way, way cheaper than a DUI. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you for coming here to the channel. Like, share, subscribe. You folks have been amazing. I have never had a more supportive group of people in my life since the military, and I would love to spend the new year having the conversation go forward with you guys, and be a part of things so that we can maintain truth in a thoughtful, intelligent, and relevant way. So God bless, and I will see you next time. Thank you.